Hello, everybody. I am a British daughter, and we have the British dad, and this is Dad Venturous.
You're just volunteering me to do a British accent?
Yeah.
British father here, coming in from Britland.
From Britland?
Yeah, Britland.
Really?
It's the mythical world where my accent is normal and not bad.
Definitely not a bad impression at all. Wait, why did I just turn Australian?
Wait, I think you went Australian there.
I can't do a Cockney accent, I'm
And
sorry.
then we say things like,
Top of the morning to you.
top of the morning to you.
That's...
I went Irish.
yeah, that's Irish.
Hoity-hoity.
Hi.
Hi. Anyway, welcome to Dad Venturous. What are we doing? No one knows.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been doing it for 2 years now.
And it's been going great.
It's been going great. We're going to get back into the nonsense here momentarily. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been giving us kind words, who's still been following us.
Yeah.
Some people have been listening from the very get-go, and we want to say, hey, you're cool.
Yeah, you're cool. Thanks for coming along for the ride.
Yeah, and helping us continue with the ride, because it's been an interesting journey on the back of a moth.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of... You ready to jump back into the episode?
I think I am.
Well, then nothing is left to do except to recall what happened last time through dialogue. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Dad Venturous.
My getaway method wasn't exactly well thought out. Turns out, glowing moths aren't that easy to steer. I didn't know where I was going, but for the moment, I'd managed to escape being captured by the MMCD and the Gallows family. The Moth and I, on our ride, encountered a bit of trouble from a large flying gloom spawn. However, we managed to defeat it and flew onward. He took me to a place I've never been before on the outskirts of Mirelight. Some sort of nest of sorts. A large tower. Very old relic of past times. After a quick look around, I managed to find a little bit of information about the place. The Listening Tower. Strange sort of system designed to listen to the audio vibrations of the city. It turns out it still worked, but to my dismay, while I was listening to the audio, there seemed to be a large bit of feedback from down on the ground level. It was not a pleasant experience. Something's not right here in the city, on the outskirts, but right now, my first priority is to get back. Currently, all I have is a moth and an elevator shaft. Not good chances.
So we find ourselves again, in this really densely thick fog room, as if you're standing outside in the streets itself. The fog is so dense here, again, that audio, horrible noise of just the wrongness of the world here. You had set about with the idea that, well, the Moth might be a good choice to try to get back. So I think as you think about that, you look over towards the nest and you actually see kind of like two little, I don't know how many eyes a moth has. I think they're two little beady eyes that come up in the little antennae, and it's like looking up over the little ridge towards you. It's just like, ooh.
Aw.
Just looking.
All right. Okay. Now that I've got my boot back, and I've got my, I just got my boot back. I gave him the hat back.
Mm-hmm.
I think I take off my hat again and stuff it in my coat and walk up to the Moth.
Mm-hmm.
I pull out the little laminated sheet.
Okay.
Information sheet that I found with the directions.
Yeah, it has like the kind of cartoon, not so much a map, but directions back towards the city, and with a general idea of where west is.
Okay. And I think, how do I do this? I think I go up and kind of crouch down next to the ledge. And I think I just say, "Hi, glad to see you're still around."
Marv's like, really?
I'm trying. Have you ever talked to a moth before, Marv?
No, I can't say that I have. Fair enough. Good luck.
I think direction-wise, he wouldn't know direction. So I stuffed the laminated sheet away.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk to the moth. Is he just hanging there on the edge?
He's watching you. Yeah.
Okay. And I think I motion up, as like a gesture to come up onto the ledge. So he's not vertical.
Yeah. It kind of gets up on its feet. It wouldn't be able to like get up on the ledge.
Yeah, but I mean like to a point where he's not like hanging off.
Yeah. He's kind of peeking over the edge with you.
And I think gesturing to an animal that's not very intelligent. I point to myself.
Okay.
And I point to the moth.
Mm-hmm.
And I make a little flappy motion with my hands.
Okay.
And I think I point in the direction that I think is west.
Okay.
As a question, and I wait for it to see.
Yeah, why don't we'll do this based on animal handling. I would also allow performance.
Oh, my performance is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean you're using like motion and whatnot and your hands and so.
Oh no, that is a 7.
A 7. So the moth kind of like cocks its head a little bit, and then it just kind of like looks towards you and flaps its wings and hovers for a second, and then just settles back down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Second plan.
okay.
I say, okay. Wait here. And I look around the room.
Okay.
And I want to grab those headphones.
Yep.
On my way from
they're
the
sitting
display
on the
case.
ground, yeah.
And I want to look around and see if there's any, like, from this rubble or something, if there's, like, a long, like, pole or, like, like a rebar beam or something of, like...
Yeah, make a investigation check.
That's a 15?
Yeah, with a 15, I think you're kind of, like, pacing around a little bit, and we'll say that over kind of behind the counter is a small little, like, closet door, basically, and you open it up and there's like cleaning supplies and stuff, and what you find in there is a retractable window squeegee thing, because I said there are big windows in here. So it's like a squeegee on one of those retractable poles that you can extend out a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. Which actually, I'm pretty sure, isn't that an item in D&D?
Yeah, the extendable pole or whatever.
Extendable.
Kia had one.
The pole of collapsing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one was magical. This is not. It's essentially a pole of collapsing, but non-magical. You just twist it and it extends.
I like that.
Yeah, so you have an extending squeegee.
Okay. Using maybe the headphone cord combined with any like rope or a tie or something that I also find in the closet.
Yeah, you're trying to dangle the headphones.
I want to try and tie the headphones to this thing so that they have a little dangle, so that they dangle from the squeegee.
I love that. All right. Easy enough to do. You're just tying a knot. You feel like it's pretty strong, and the moth is just watching you. Its head is moving every time you move the headphones. It's like, what is going on? And then
I want to carrot on the stick this thing.
You want to carrot on and stick this thing? Okay. And the moth is looking at you, and it gets closer, and it's like proboscis is like thinking about coming out. But what is your plan? You're just gonna like hop on?
Yeah, I think I kind of wiggle the squeegee so like the headphones bounce.
Yeah. Its eyes get wide on a moth? I don't know. It gets excited.
Yeah.
It moves excitedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of walk up closer to him, but kind of like since it's a long extendable pole, I want to keep the headphones out of reach.
Right.
And I say, "Do you want the headphones? Do you want these?"
Marv's like, We're down to this, huh? It's a good idea.
It's a last resort, Marv.
It's a good idea.
And I would like to see if I can get on his back.
Yeah.
If I keep these.
Why don't we'll set up like a little something here. We'll do like successes versus failures for this next little bit of you guiding this thing through the air. I think easily enough for as far as climbing on, that's easy. You can climb on. And you're able to keep the pole ahead of this thing enough. And it's trying to like reach out with its proboscis, but it's like can't quite reach it that far.
I think I turn it. I turn the squeegee thing to out kind of slowly so that it can track it, but out towards the opening.
Yeah, the body shifts around with it and follows it.
All right. Let's hope this works.
Okay. And then why don't we start with round 1 here? I'm just going to make this up. Animal handling or persuasion. You are attempting to convince this thing to take off and go for a flight. And yeah, you pick which one. And it's not so much of whether or not it'll work one way or the other. It's like what will happen when it does.
So I'd pick persuasion for a 14.
Okay, 14. It starts flapping its little wings, and it goes and curls off of the edges of this platform. Can you do me a favor real quick as you descend from this? Can you give me an insight check?
Yeah.
Or investigation? I'd allow either.
Both are really bad. Investigation is technically my higher for a 8.
For an 8? Yeah, no, never mind.
Okay.
You descend. And quickly, the moth is gaining a little bit of speed. It feels like if it dives, it can try to get the thing.
I think at that gaining speed and the dive, I think I'd pull it up a little bit.
Okay, so it slows down and it ascends a little bit. I think it kind of looks back at you a little bit. If it can, its eyes look back your direction anyway, a little bit of confusion. And then it just starts hovering there in one place. Unsure why it can't get the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I was worried about the dive because of that ground level stuff, and I know that some Glum spawn can fly, so I don't want to attract attention.
Yeah, so you see the tower behind you. You kind of, as you're outside of it looking, you feel like, oh, okay, there's a peak of the, spire that was pointing north. You get your bearings. You rolled a nat 20 on this last time, so you get your bearings. You figure out where west is, and you have a feeling that it's a little journey, but west towards the city.
Okay.
And so you can point your headphones that direction.
I do want to point my headphones that direction.
Okay. Second roll. Your choice, but as you kind of extend them out a little bit and shake them once more, the moth starts flying that way, slowly at first, and then he starts getting a little bit of speed going. Not like what you were doing when you were chasing that thing, but, it's moving for sure. I'll allow athletics, acrobatics, or the persuasion animal handling again.
My persuasion is still the best.
Okay.
But I can do a different one if you want.
No, it's fine.
Okay. 16.
16? Okay. Gaining a little bit of trust here, the glowing moth is flying out this direction. I think it banks a little bit here and there, but generally speaking of, you're feeling like
Relatively straight
shot here.
Okay.
Next bit, you start flying in, and you've lost the tower behind you. This one is more of a bearings, trying to make sure you can kind of keep pointing west here, because that's good when there's something in sight. But as soon as that's out, that's hard. So kind of like a navigation check. I'm going to let you do investigation. I would allow nature or survival.
Did I roll a 3 again? So that's an 8 again.
Okay, so an 8. You're starting to feel a little bit lopsided here, a little bit confused. And I'm going to roll. I'll just roll something. I'm making this up, but oof. Even with this thing on a stick here, one of those floating head with wing creatures suddenly appears, and you feel this come out and is going. We're not going to do combat, but it's going to make a slash at you as you guys go along. So can you? Or I'm just gonna. You already made your fail. Does a 17 hit you?
That does. Or do I want to waste that? No, I won't waste that. That's fine.
4 damage to you.
Okay.
But you're moving quick enough that this thing can't really keep up. And this was just, the negative of that fail.
Yeah.
And as you come out of it, you're still managing to hold on, even though you take some damage. The thing dissipates behind, or disappears into the fog behind you. And again, we need to try to see if we can get back on track here. You feel like you're heading west, but there's a little bit of you might end up back in the city, but you might not know where you're going to end up in the city. So rolling again for the second time. If it doesn't work this time, we're going to end up in a strange place in the city. Investigation, nature, survival.
I'm doing investigation for 16.
16. Okay. I like to think that you're a little unsure. You're thinking about your bearing. You're like, okay, you're an investigator. You came out of the tower. You're flying straight. The thing came by. You banked left. You need to bank right again. You're kind of getting a rough idea, and you get back. And then as you are kind of flying this direction, you do see maybe the shape of a skyscraper coming up and passing you. Not very close, but
enough to
you feel like you're getting back on track. But it's just one, right? So it's you're still in the outskirts of the building.
Okay.
Or of the city.
Okay. If I get into a spot that I'm starting to see more skyscrapers, I might try to find a spot to land, but for now.
Okay. Yeah. So you're flying along a little bit. We'll do another check here as you're back into sort of an open area. Of what kind of roll? Let's do, we'll say that you're flying along and suddenly the Gloamwing Moth thinks that if it does a barrel roll, maybe the headphones will get closer and it can reach with its proboscis.
Oh no.
So we'll say for this one, you can make an athletics acrobatics check to hold on as you flip over.
Okay. Oh no. That's an 11.
An 11, you flip upside down and you go to slip. As you go to slip, he had flipped upside down, and so you slip off of the back of this thing. No. But with an 11, I'll let you try to make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can grab on. But this thing might have a chance to get the headphones.
No.
No, you don't get on?
No.
That might work out better for your favor. You slip. You fall.
Oh,
and
boy.
You start to fall, and the moth is upside down halfway through a barrel roll, looking up at you, and it's ooh, and you start falling again, but you still are holding the headphones. So then with a 19 on his check, it is going to follow you.
Really?
Yep, and go down your direction. But for the moment, you are falling.
Okay.
Is there any way you want to get out of this as you start to fall?
How would I... Oh, do I want... Oh. It's funny, because the logical thing to do would be to Misty Step. But I'm also incredibly curious to see if it catches the thing. But...
Catches what thing? I don't know
if
what
it catches the headphones, because he's diving after me.
I will say,
Okay, here's...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think Mel would probably Misty Step in this situation to see if she can get back on the moth. But I think, he's still downward pointing.
Yeah.
So, okay. We'll deal with the Misty Step first. And then, yeah. I want to still be on this thing.
So then you swirl the mist around you, and with that glow of green energy from Marv,
Boof,
back onto his back, the not microphone holder, headphone, yeah, the stick you're holding onto, is still in a good position because of Misty Step, and the thing lets out a soft whoo again, still pointing downward, high speed.
I think I only passed a single skyscraper.
I'm
wondering about landing this thing, but I just don't know where I am.
Yeah. Well, we'll say as you get back on, why don't we do one more investigation perception check? As you feel like you've been flying along to the west pretty far here, you saw one building. Yeah, your choice, investigation, perception.
Finally. Non-natural 20 for investigation.
Okay, non-natural 20. I think because of the dive, you went down a little bit lower, and you start to see some shapes of buildings, low buildings coming up, and it's gliding along. And I think after a moment, you start to see looming in the 100 50 yards in front of you some pretty big buildings.
Oh.
And so you feel like you're starting to get into that outer section of Mirelight. Which district? Hard to tell, but you feel like you could start steering him into the city if you like, or going up or down or wherever.
I think at this point, I'd want to steer him kind of towards those like larger buildings. Like I'm still not sure like what district, but I think Mel would probably go for the quickest, safest option, which would be to go to that and see if there's like a roof that I can try and get him to go on.
Okay. Yeah, you start steering that way. You got pretty good on your perception check. We'll do one last roll here for trying to see if you can kind of like choose the landing spot.
Okay.
Persuasion or animal handling once more, I would allow, or investigation as well. You can kind of choose if you're trying to figure out where you're going and then persuade him. Actually, make 2 rolls. We'll do one for the investigation perception check and one for the persuasion animal handling check.
Investigation, I got a 12.
Okay.
And
I think with a 12, you're kind of unsure of district, so you're probably like, well, the district you know a little better, or all the districts you know really well are low, which would be harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you steer up with a 12. And I think you're like Skyline, the visibility was better.
Yeah, easier to land.
Easier to land. So you start angling up and you find a low enough skyscraper coming up here. And then what did you roll for your persuasion check?
Persuasion, I got a 18.
An 18. Okay. Yeah, I think you get up there, and I think as you are kind of going in, you kind of see this building, and as you're looking, you can just make out the rising lift of like the Brixies.
Oh. Brixies lift?
Brixies lift, the cargo lift. In the distance, you get a little bit more visibility. The sun, although it's starting to get closer to evening now, it allows you to have a little bit more light, and you feel like you could reach that lift, or now you're like, okay, if I could convince him to go one more further, we could land at a spot where I could hop off.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'd go for the lift.
Okay, you go for the lift?
Yeah.
Okay, so you start angling the headphones over and gliding over. You're getting closer and closer to the lift. What's your plan?
My plan, I think, would be to, once we're getting closer to the lift, I think I'd kind of like angle the headphones kind of off to the side of him almost.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of like a downward, like diagonal.
Okay. Yeah, you hang him next to his face basically, so you couldn't reach him anyway, but he kind of banks down and angled.
Okay. And I used my Misty Step for that. Yeah. But my goal, since I can't teleport, is to see how close I can get him to the lift with these headphones, and like if I could, I'd want him to land on it, but if I can't, I'd want to try and jump off.
We'll go with one final roll here. You can have advantage. You've been doing good. One final roll of a persuasion check here to see if he'll definitely get you close enough to jump off, but whether or not he lands and makes it graceful, we'll leave it up to the dice.
With advantage?
Yep.
Is an 18.
Okay. So yeah, I think you're like able to kind of lower the headphones down and keep pointing you like as you he turns around the lift, you keep pointing them down.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets confused again, comes to a stop, starts hovering, and then sets down on the lift, which
great
he had done before once upon a time. So he's able to cling on to that. And
I'd hop off.
You hop off?
I think I'd once I hop off, I think I'd just take the tie around the top of the squeegee and untie it and just hand him the headphones.
Nice. You hand the headphones to him. This is a very entertaining thing. I'm going to do something because you have had a good time with the Moth. We'll keep it minor. But his proboscis reaches out, curls the headphones up, makes a little like whoo noise, very happy again. And I'm going to pull up a random loot generator, and we'll do a roll. Minor, trinket style, but, you've done quite well for yourself here. So let's do trinkets, Okay. Lowest level of magical item. Can you please roll for me a D10?
Oh. That is a 1.
A 1. This probably works better. Okay, yeah, the item was a little weird. Kind of fitting. He pulls the headphones in, looks at him, coos a little bit, looks down at your boots once more, and then spends a little bit of time and pulls out a different pair of boots than you have seen before, and slides them over to you, and hands you a pair of nice, kind of like gray leather boots that actually look pretty solid and have maybe a tiny bit of a magical vibe to them.
Oh, I think I'd take them and kind of go, thanks.
Ooh. And it curls up the things and it just releases and flaps a little bit. And I think with a soft disappearing into the fog and mist, you have seen for now the last of the Gloamwing Moth, but probably not the last of him for the campaign. But curls off, dissipates, maybe he flies back out to his listening tower nest. Maybe he goes and searches around the city for more things to find. But as you are holding these boots, I just rolled randomly. These are a wondrous common magic item called the Boots of False Tracks.
Oh.
And so it says that you can choose to have them leave tracks that are not your shoe or foot. What I like to think that will be is, I was going to say, why don't we give you a little proficiency bump to your stealth?
Okay.
Instead of having to do something specific, we'll give you just a tiny increase to your stealth.
I like that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was a random item, so he gave you it's a tiny little boost to stealth. That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah, no advantage or anything, just a little bump.
All right. I think I'd be happy with that. I think I'd ride the rest of the way up the lift. It's
You're on top of the lift?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
That's fine.
I'd stay on the roof,
As epically as you might imagine, you stand there, you put your new boots on.
Yeah.
Yeah, put your new boots on, tuck everything away, and, you're climbing up. The visibility gets better and better. I like to think you're standing there holding on to the, cable, your cloak or your trench coat flapping in the wind.
Yeah, have a little bit of a, just a moment of, I'm back.
Marv pipes up and he's like, yeah, back to the worst place in Mirelight. I don't know. I guess it's not that bad.
Don't we know it?
Yeah. There's some good people up here.
And good croissants.
That's true. Well, what's the plan next? It's getting evening time. We're going to try to find a place to stay one more.
Yeah, go. First, we could go check in on the ogres now that they have a station up here and see if there's anything else from the Nightmire. And other than that, get ready for an election.
Okay. I think as the soft going up with the lift, I think after a moment you hear a voice call out as you start getting closer to the city. You get a little bit more visibility, and you hear a voice call out, Mel? And you look down, and just like you had on the original one, you see Jarrett and Narg, the two security guards of the lifts,
and just wave.
looking. And Jarrett's holding a cup of coffee, and he's just got his head cocked, looking at your way. And he's like, "What are you doing up there?"
It's a long story.
Huh? Well, careful coming down.
Yeah, I think as the lift clicks into place, I hop down just from the top.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, get your papers, and he goes through the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I do the thing.
What, any chance I could get a smaller version, or?
You ever heard of a Gloamwing Moth?
I have heard of the Gloamwing Moths. Narg, the little halfling next to you, is like, whatever, not real.
They're definitely real. It's...
Sure, they're real.
Here, take a ride on the lift one day and see for yourself. Just hold on to your hat.
Jarrett chuckles to the side. He's like, well, Mel, you back just in time for the election tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll certainly be an interesting event.
Sure will. Yeah. Well, Yes.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too, Jarrett. Hope your coffee's all right.
Thanks. And,
Huh? Oh, continue.
no, you go for it.
Okay. I think I'd wave goodbye to them. I'd still like giving that proposal to Narg as a,
Yeah,
you'll
go
see
for a
one
lift
day.
ride. Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, other than that, I think I'd head in unless there's anything else.
Nope, nothing else from here. But I think as you start to head in, relative reminder that you had been hidden at the time when Commissioner Renshaw had you guys escape from the precinct. But generally speaking, you are not looked favorably upon by the MMCD.
No.
I think as you start to climb the stairs and ascend back towards the Bridges Market, where you once chased the Mirelight, now an ally, ? Something you had seen before, too, is kind of a crackdown up here as well. You had noticed that there was a more presence. And
more patrols.
The streets is interesting because the streets down below, there's MMCD, but there's actually not a lot of them. Their issues are more Gloam spawn related. Up here in the skyline, there's less of that, but it's almost mirroring a little bit in that you see lots of patrols of MMCD. Seems like they've added to their forces.
Oh.
Again, noticing that some don't look like your standard officers. And the Bridges Market is a little less busy than it used to be.
Oh.
Some of the vendor carts are empty.
Okay.
And some of the things are not, it's just not as busy.
Yeah.
I think you would notice that.
There's still people there, but just it's okay.
Yeah, it's not as busy as it was even just yesterday.
I think okay. I think with that,
Or even just this morning.
Yeah.
Because you were here this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even from this morning towards the evening, when it would be busier than you saw it, it's actually not as busy as it should be. And there's a lot more MMCD roaming around.
As I kind of pass by the Bridges Market, if I can, I really want to see if I can see in the distance if there's any commotion going on around that shop.
Yeah, make a perception check.
No, that's a 9.
I won't treat it like it's not like you don't see it. What you do see is that it is closed, it is boarded up, and it has a police investigation thing on it.
Okay.
So no commotion at all, just an dead, quiet building.
Okay. I think at that I'd kind of pull my hat down just as a and just as a kind of not necessarily disguise, but just less open.
Yeah.
And I think I'd probably walk back up to High Street. I think I'd kind of just along the way.
Sorry, real quick. Before you say you walk up to High Street, you had mentioned the ogre.
Oh, yes,
checkout.
the ogre.
That would be first,
that would be first. You're
logistically.
Right, you're right.
So up if you care, just letting you know. Or you can just go up to High Street. I'm just letting you know that logistically the ogres would be first. Unless you want to end with the ogres and see about hanging out with them this evening or something like that.
I was thinking about that.
Okay. Then yeah, to High Street.
Yeah, I'd go to High Street. I know I checked it this morning, but just to see if there's anything new, I'd check the alley by the bakery again.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
That's a 9.
9?
No.
No new information from the Mirelight yet today, which is a bummer because kind of the last end here.
Yeah.
You guys are probably going to have to meet tomorrow, and she wasn't able to find anything so far.
Okay.
To the
location
of the Gallows family lair.
Hangman's
So
noose.
yeah, no mark, no nothing.
All right. I think then I'd probably head back down.
Oh, okay.
And check. Maybe I'd grab some sort of food along the way. But go and I'd check by the warehouses by that Haystown lift to see if the ogres what they're up to.
I think I think
spot.
pretty quickly, you had already heard people be like, there was an ogre spotted, oh no, and Thunker had come snuck into your room and whatnot. As you start to head over that direction, you start seeing like there's a decent number of MMCD patrols happening towards the precinct and towards the market and towards that. But as you get to like this factory area, they start to weed out a little bit. And I think after a little while, you notice somebody standing on the street corner. Two people standing there, just wearing normal clothes, but make an insight check on them.
Okay.
I could look at your passive insight, I guess, too, but that's fine. I'll just go with
I've been rolling terribly.
Well, maybe you should. What is your passive insight? Because I guess
13.
Yeah, I think with the 13, they catch your eye a little bit. These are people trying to be regular people, but they aren't ogres.
No,
they're just one's reading a newspaper poorly, looking over the top. The other one is picking her nails with a dagger. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
not exactly your normal thing as you start to head down this way. And then I think you see another set a little further on.
Oh.
It's like, oh, the MMCD aren't here. But, with the passive insight, they don't look like Gallows members either.
No. Okay. I think, if any of them, as I pass by, do any of them take a glance at me? Or does it seem like they're...
Make that perception check. Stop using that dice. Yeah, I mean, you're not... It's hard to tell. They're being subtle. They're not being very subtle that they're, like, normal people, but in terms of, like, they're probably watching you. You don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I'd ignore them for now.
Okay. Start walking along, and you're making your way over to that warehouse.
Yeah.
Pass by another group of, like, 3 people, humanoids, and this one there's, like, a tiefling and an elf, and then...
I think I'd be wary of them, but I think since they're not seeming to be necessarily hostile at all, I think I'd just be aware of them, but I'm ignoring them for now.
I think you round this final corner, and you know that the warehouse is just a block down the way. Passive perception?
Passive, 10.
10, okay. Cool. You make your way towards the warehouse, and you start getting down there, and you start hearing some commotion inside, like people talking and whatnot. And I think you just kind of have been paying attention to that. You're thinking about those people behind you, and that was weird.
Like, yeah.
And then you go to take a glance back, and literally following in your immediate footsteps is Lena Cass.
Oh.
With a nat 20 stealth check.
Nice. I think I just turn around.
The second time she's done this to you.
I just go, you gotta stop doing that, Lena.
She's like, it's nice to know if I still can. Good. You're here. Come on in.
Oh.
And she pats you on the back and gets in front of you a little bit and leads you to the warehouse entrance door and slides it open. She's like, I thought I was going to have to come find you, but you did my job for me. And as you open the door, you see that there is ogres in here. Thunker mainly, not Mama Gloomrage, but Thunker's in here and some of the clan here, as well as a number of humanoids walking around and in here wearing their Night Watch gear.
I had assumed so.
Yes.
Once you said that there were people there, I was like, I have a feeling these aren't Gallows members, and there's another organization that would be spying up here.
There sure would be. And
Nice.
Lena comes in, she pats you on the back, and she's like, well, welcome to our Skyline base of operations, and leads you on in. And I think that is where we'll end this episode. As you enter into this hubbub of the first time the Night Watch has had a foothold in the Skyline to try to maybe make some changes up here. We'll see. You knew that she was recruiting. You knew that Thunker and her had connections, and he had done stuff for them before, and maybe his recent outing with the Gallows family has made him more of a supporter.
Oh.
We will we'll work on that next time.
All right. I liked that one. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. You made a friend in a glowing moth. You got your back to the city. You got stuff to talk about tonight. And I think we'll leave it there. So thank you all for listening, everybody.
As always, we'll be back again next week with a continuation. But for now, Goodbye.
Have a good week, and we will see you next time
On
Dadventurous.
Dadventurous.